So for the first couple weeks of the season, I've been focused on coverage stuff that you guys can run to get stops against the most prominent metas in the offense on Madden 26. Now I'm going to show you guys one of the easiest blitz formations in the game, and it's one of 4. Yeah, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 base defenses that you can find in my newest defensive game plan. So get out your pen and pad, hit that sub button, that notification bell, and let's get after it. As I just mentioned, today's video is presented to you by my strategy website, gridirongameplans.gg. I just dropped my Miami Dolphins defensive game plan on the website. It has 4 base defenses: the nickel wide, the big dime 2-3, the dime 2-3 will, and the dime 1-4. So whether you're a 4-down player or a 3-down player, I've got ways to get after the quarterback. And the best part is you guys can study my match coverage Bible, that match game plan breaking down cover 4 quarters, palm 6, 9, cover 2 match, cover 3 match. You guys will be able to install whatever coverage scheme you want behind pressures like the ones I'm about to show you today. Now, today we're going to be zone blitzing, and this is going to be really, really fire because we can get gap pressure with either linebacker in the nickel wide defense. And best yet, we can actually drop out the weak side edge to make our coverage just a little bit stronger. I think the best defense that you guys are going to want to run out of the nickel wide is going to be the cover 3 cloud. This is a very good coverage to call in this year's game. You can get a lot of pressure with this defense, and it's a very simple setup for pressure. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is, instead of the wide techniques, we are going to condense this down by pinching our defensive line. This alignment is going to give us control over both guards and the outside shoulders of both tackles in this formation. Now, our linebackers are a little bit too far off the ball for my liking to really present instant pressure, so we're going to show blitz with them. To do this, you're going to hit right on the D-pad and then right bumper or R1 depending on your console. This will walk those linebackers down into the B gap area. Now, from here, we need to decide, based off of the formation, is it smarter for us to send left side or right side pressure? It's totally up to you what you guys want to do here, but the left or right side will dictate what type of defensive line crash we're going to put in with this particular pressure. So let's start off with the right side for the purpose of this, even though there's a little bit more action to the right of the quarterback here in terms of the tight end, running back, and a receiver. I'm going to show you the right side formula first. To do this, you're going to crash your defensive line down. You're going to contain first. Very, very important that you contain first. I'll show you why here in a moment. And then you blitz your linebacker. This will give him the B gap blitz angle, and the contain already being in will make it so he doesn't reset. What I mean by that is, if you do this in any other order in this defense, the contain will sometimes make it so your linebacker ends up going back into zone. It's not a 100% thing, but you see right there that it just happened. I blitzed him, contained it, he went right back into his hook curl. So always blitz this linebacker after the contain step. Now, one thing I like to do is make sure I'm occupying the center. If I can get him to look towards me, that's going to give us instant screaming B gap pressure from the honey badger. Another great thing about this defense is that you do have the ability to sub in safeties at these linebacker positions. That is a huge plus. Just better in coverage, faster, can play man better underneath on running backs and tight ends than your traditional linebackers can. So I basically have safeties at both these positions. Another thing that you guys can do with this defense as well is set your safety depth and width to close and pinch. This is going to take away the seams. That way, when you send that linebacker and that immediate seam throw is kind of there to the tight end, you have someone there that can kind of react to it. So again, we're just kind of basing out of the cover 3 cloud, but you could choose whatever defense you want here. So let's go ahead here and run another setup here. We'll go ahead and this time drop out the weak side edge. So we're still going to show blitz with the linebackers. We're still going to pinch the D line. We're still going to crash down. And then we're going to QB contain. To QB contain in this game, you're going to hit the right bumper and then the left bumper. That is a new thing this year. Also keep in mind that sometimes your safeties flinch when you do this. It's really no big deal. Then from there, we're going to blitz our linebacker once again. And what we can do is actually drop out our weak side rusher. We do not actually need him in this play. So a couple of things you could do. If you suspect a running back Texas route, you could cross man the running back. If you expect a tight end drag, you could go ahead and cross man the tight end. Those are the 2 players that you can man up individually. Any attached tight end and any running back in the formation, that's an option. If you want to, because we are blitzing the right side of the screen, that hook curl on the left is going to be my user. I'm probably going to need to get over to that right side of the screen. You might decide to just put this player in a vertical hook if you want to as well. That's another option. Now, the final thing that you guys will want to do with this, if you are dropping out, Notice how the contain bump from Bosa when we dropped him in coverage to this player here. You don't want that. You want him crashing inside, so re-blitz him. So that is our setup here. And then from there, you will be getting the same exact pressure with one less rusher. You could occupy the field however you want with this. You can make coverage adjustments. You don't even have to be in cover 3 cloud. You could do this out of literally anything. You could do this out of Tampa 2 contain, show blitz, pinch, crash, QB contain, blitz this player. Maybe I spy this guy. And again, if you don't want that, if you contain, you need this blitz angle hard to the inside, okay? Maybe you go ahead and QB contain. That's just going to help, again, with just allowing for that pressure to come in. The one thing you do have to be careful with this is sometimes the tight end, if there is one, will bump your defensive end. And if that does occur, that doesn't mean your blitz didn't work. It's just unfortunate. So you see the tight end kind of just bumped into this guy, and that made it so the tackle targeted him. That's okay, because this player is going to end up coming in unblocked if that occurs. So you see right here, Micah Parsons is coming in through this A gap, and he's able to get to the quarterback for a sack. So that is our right side pressure for this setup. Now, again, if you guys are enjoying the video, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell. I've done a ton of match content. So one of the things that you guys ought to be doing is learning the match coverage rules and showing this blitz look, because we're going to be running coverage, get your opponent send 5 out. And then that's when this blitz is important. It isn't that this is a base defense. This is that kind of win the game, that big third down after you've dropped coverage all game long and you've stunted all game long, and your opponent is doing all kinds of things to block a 4-man pressure by double teaming and doing weird stuff against Texas stunts. And then you send this pressure that they're not prepared for. That is the goal of this type of video. Now let's go ahead and set up our left side pressure. This one is a little bit different, okay? Because the blitz angle when we do this is not the same for Watts on the left. You're gonna see that he attacks the left A gap. So when we have this, we are actually gonna, rather than crash down, we're actually gonna crash left, because we would just want to have this basically screaming through the left A gap. And I want that right of screen defensive tackle to crash inside as much as possible. You can still QB contain off of this, but again, make sure that you blitz your player afterwards. That's gonna make it so it doesn't reset him and do that. Now with this, again, all you're really doing is hoping for the center to turn his attention towards you, and you're going to get one of two things that'll occur. This one right here is the instant D tackle A gap. This is a totally fine setup. If it's not the D tackle, it's going to be the blitzer behind him. Okay. This is how this looks. And a lot of times it's just quick. You have really good contain work on both sides. It is a 5-man pressure. You know, because you have a nickel corner on the left, this is a little bit more balanced. You don't have to guarantee that you run over to the left. You see right here, this looks pretty good. The pressure comes in before anything really develops open to the quarterback. Okay, so really solid. So again, we show blitz with the linebackers. We pinch our line. If we're blitzing the left, we crash left. And then we want to make sure that we are QB containing on this play. Pay attention that you blitz the player after the QB contain to avoid him resetting. Now with this, you can, if you want to, end up taking your weak side defensive end off of his contain. But remember, we have to have this blitz assignment. You cannot have sweat containing on this. This is the most inconsistent portion of this video, just because we're sending so few people, and this blitz is harder to get in than the right side blitz, but it is still good. Again, with this, you just get the attention. You see that we almost got that A gap, and basically he was free and just kind of bumped into some people there and got reblocked, and then he shed right away. So again, we'll do this a couple more times here. QB contain, blitz that guy, and then, you know, you got your setup like so. You could shade down. You could, you know, put a vertical hook over there on the left to better defend the seam. You can hard man the left of screen guy. You can do so much you want from a coverage perspective here. But again, get this attention of this side. You see the insta sheds on the guards. The guards are terrible in this game. You'll take this every single time. But again, if you're really wanting the most pressure, I would probably say just send 5 and be okay with this, okay? Because this is going to be your best bet at a clean pressure or a disengage. The real key to the left side pressure is getting the center to look at you. If you notice that the center is constantly looking left, you might even have to cheat this a little bit and just kind of step over the center. This will help with, you know, making him turn to the wrong direction, and then there's where your A gap comes in. Okay, so little nuances will open up this blitz formula so much easier for you. And again, you do always have the luxury when you are sending 5 to just straight up contain the defense and just make sure that you're kind of standing here. And from there, you're really just trying to get the center's attention to the wrong side, and then boom, there you go. You get that disengage again. So this is a good blitz. You just have to work at it a little bit, and it's a great compliment. Now, why would I share this with you if this is such a major blitz setup out of the nickel wide? Well, the truth is this is something that while I only use it maybe one side from the right once a game and one side from the left maybe once a game, those are the drive enders. That's that 3rd and 6. They've been trying to attack your 7-man coverage, 4-man rush. That isn't instant pressure. It's just kind of sheds and stunts that occasionally come in. You catch them sending 5 out, you win games with this because you force those really rush reads, those 4th down and 5s where they're throwing, and then you catch them by surprise. The key is you show this look every single down, and you run the coverage stuff. You run the stunt stuff that's in that game plan, and then you use this sparingly. These are things that will win you games, but what truly wins you games is how you play the other 90% of the time. And that is a foundation of strong coverage. That is a foundation of understanding how the pass rushes work and which stunts you should use against different fronts. I stunt the majority of the game. I run these blitzes on money downs when the situation calls for it. My opponent is not blocking their running back or their tight end. And you'll find that with the coverage stuff that I do, not only for free here on the channel, but also in the game plans on the website, that is often. And that makes it so it's much easier to pick your moment to win games with setups like this. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm going to get up out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Until then, this is Zayn. Get the lab and good luck.